Hello. Welcome to Inventors Brewpub in Washington. I'm Greg Washington, founder, owners of the Badger Beer Report. We're here for our 6th anniversary party, celebrating 6 years of the Beer Report. Inventors Brewpub. I want to thank the Inventors Brewpub for the wonderful hospitality and excellent brewing prowess. We'll get in the second year. But we're here to celebrate the 6 years of Badger Beer Report. And we're celebrating with 2 celebratory beers. Are you ready? It's I don't think it's sound. It's on. Yeah. Well, you can't hear it, but so yeah, I want to thank everybody who's here. We are thrilled to celebrate 6 years with Inventors. We want to thank subscribers and everybody here at Inventors for your hospitality. The project, the goal was simple: to spotlight the tap room industry, tell the stories behind the tap rooms, to document the rich history that we have built together. 6 years later, our live stream podcast is statewide collaboration brewery. This is the platform that's grown in some part out. Our welcome keep track of brewery opening, celebrated milestones in the communities around the Of course, a milestone like this is not reached alone. I want to give a massive shout out to our brewery. That's there for Joel, Chris, Landon, Kelsey, Garth, Bill, Trevor, Milo, Dave, Silent Assassin. All of y'all have been brilliant contributors, and I want to thank you personally. Without you, this would not have happened. Your dedication to telling these stories represents the absolute heartbeat of food. This is time for me to acknowledge a special moment for our collaboration friends. Shout out to Gathering Places, Joe, Denver, Brewing, Washington, of course, I want to Dippy. I think we turned around the camera for y'all can see the place now. Really beautiful place. I also want to send my deepest gratitude to Vault 202 and our amazing class of 25 collaborators. Want to name them all. Sorry, y'all have to go through this. Bruno, Tailwind, Lombardi, Brewing Company, Bob Craft, Plastic Brewpub, Boulder Junction, Fond du Lac Brewing, and St. Francis Brewing. All new breweries in 25 who collaborated with us to breweries and get the word out. You're willing to jump in and work with us to the world. Can't say nothing more about that. For our fans and everyone who's turned into the trade, read articles, voted for the favorite breweries, came out to the events like this one. You're the reason why we do this. Your enthusiasm, build this project every day. Here's y'all. Today is about celebrating our work and more importantly, celebrating the community. Get things can't get anybody up for you. Hopefully they take out the keynote speaker and we'll be talking to. But before that, we had some phenomenal beers. Great, please make sure get a pour of our 2 next beers. Get several trips here. Also, beer, breakfast. Get the most out. So, what? We raise the class. Adhere to the brewers, the writers, homebrewers, partners, more importantly, all of you support craft beer. Here's 6 years. And really more importantly, here's the Wisconsin craft beer, our crafters, our people who support it. And yeah. Joel, the Director of Brewery Operations and Research for Badger Beer Report, and the author of Flights Across America, my good friend and colleague, Joel Guy.
Yeah, I may hear my voice a little bit bigger. I tend to project a little more, so sorry for my mic. Uh, but I'm here to talk more about where we are headed because this has obviously been a project that has evolved a lot since I came on. But now that 3 years, I believe, after I moved home, traveling, visiting breweries all over the country, and now getting to focus on Wisconsin. Uh, this last year has been very eventful, as Greg already talked about with our collabs. We have even more of that coming down the pipeline, more content, more video content, more interviews. Our passion for Wisconsin craft beer is really what drives this entire project. We love sharing the stories behind these beers, behind these people. And we really feel that we are people that are, best suited to do this. And there is no one else out there that is currently covering the craft beer scene the way that we are. And that is why we are trying to really push forward these stories, this coverage, and we are looking forward to seeing where this all goes. We have a lot of things that we are currently working on behind the scenes, different pathways that we are exploring. But no matter what, we just want to make sure that no matter how our coverage is going, that our passion for these local breweries shines through, whether it is the New Glarus and Lakefronts of the world, or whether it is your local brew pub that you can only get in the tap room. We care about each and every story, whether it's big or small. We are the place you can go to, be able to get information on them, follow along, whether you are in Superior or Milwaukee or La Crosse, any part of the state. And that passion is what drives us forward. I know Greg has already talked about how many places we have gone to and visit. And we do that because we care about these places, we care about sharing them with you. And so make sure that you check out our Patreon where we're doing even more coverage and covering even more stories with the newsletters and video content. Make sure that you are following us on YouTube and Facebook, wherever you use social media, because no matter what, we will be there. We will be sharing these stories, and we look forward to seeing what the rest of 2026 and in 2027 will all include for Wisconsin craft beer. So, as I always close with our podcast, whether it is where you are visiting or where you are living, be sure to drink local everything. Cheers, everybody. I am now going to pass it off to Matt. Yeah. And we will be changing. This again is live, and we are, this is not TBS Nightly News. So you want to bear with us as we kind of change a couple angles here. You get what you pay for, is what I'm trying to say here. Give us 1 second.
What?
Put it on this also.
Probably. And it's like I'm literally setting that figure, and y'all can learn about the turbo path.
Yes.
And everything about that goes about to change. So,
Am I coming over there?
hey, let's take it. Yeah. So, what's the state the name? Here. You set here.
You put it on all around the map, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Y'all attack right.
All right. And we need to give Matt one of the mics. There's a mic on the table there for Matt.
Yeah. Yeah. Ready to go.
Now you go.
Nice. Did I just start? I'm glad it's this time to so I think it worked.
Yeah, it's
Like,
yeah, that's
funny today.
My son is on YouTube. The other side. Is that working?
Yep, you can see it right here. Yep, you're good.
I just picked it on as a towel.
Yeah, that's what it's designed to do.
All right. So you do a little intro talking about TurboTax. So I'm here. I'm honored to be here tonight for the launch party of the Laminar Flow Pilsner, one of the best drinking beers I've had in a long time. So if you have an opportunity to come by Inventors Brewpub and try some, I would highly recommend it. Highly sessionable, great, smooth. I will be drinking it all night. Laminar Flow Pilsner is named after laminar flow, which was one of the key engineering principles for the TurboTax. The TurboTax is an invention I co-invented a number of years ago, 25 plus years ago, with some friends of mine. And I thought I'd take you through a little bit of a story around how the invention came to be. So the original inspiration was on a place that's near and dear to many of us, the Wisconsin Union Terrace. If you've ever been out to the terrace on a warm summer night, you'll know that it's lovely weather, great company, great bands, but long lines for beer, at least back when I was a college student. And so that was really the inspiration, waiting in a long line for a draft beer. It was taking 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And I just sort of got to thinking, well, there's got to be a better way. And I was noticing it was taking them over a minute to pour a pitcher. And so that was really the inspiration for that. Fortunately, around that same time, there was an invention contest on the W-Madison campus right here. And so we entered this fledgling idea for the TurboTax into this contest. And it took first place. We won $10,000, the first prize. And back then, this is a long time ago, things didn't really go viral the way they go viral today. This was about as viral as you could get. So we had a little article that appeared on the front page, or the front page of the life section of the USA Today. And then later that evening, let's see if this will actually work. Yeah, video here.
I looked at both the University of Wisconsin here. One first part. It's not different. I think the faster beer pack. The beer flow out of the cave. Really fast. Just that, so flat. What can you talk about? Maybe you're talking about one of the point on this.
So that was me, Lena, for those of you that are my age. It was on the kind of Tonight Show. So we got a little bit of fame, kind of my 10 minutes that came out of that. We ended up with some other patents that came out of that, the original prototypes. We tried pitching into Anheuser-Busch, and the whole idea kind of flopped with them. So we kind of set it back to the drawing board, and I spent more time in the lab. This is my original beer lab in downtown Chicago, where I kind of worked on stuff. Did a lot of work. This is where the concept of laminar flow, so computational fluid analysis. We built lots of prototypes. It involved lots of R&D, like I like to call it, research and drinking, because you had to pour actual beer to know. And ultimately, we ended up with this design. This is the design that, you'll see very kind of variations today. We put it in place in a lot of places in around downtown Chicago. But our big break, and we actually pitched it at the United Center in downtown Chicago, but we were pitching it right at the time that the hockey was about to go on strike. And the people there kind of said, oh, well, we're not going to have a lot of use for this, but folks at Wrigley Field, because we're happy to make an intro. Yeah, the intro to Wrigley Field, which was like the big break that we really needed for the technology. And really kind of we're putting stuff together. This is one of my business partners at the time, Todd Keeling. That's the original prototype exploding in his garage after watching it. And this sums up Todd, one of my collaborators, really well. Like, this is exploding. I'm like, what the heck? Todd's son is like, what the heck? Todd's dog is like, what the heck? And Todd's like, hey, never broke it. So that's total Todd all the way. But we ended up getting the product itself, the prototypes installed in the bleacher section of Wrigley Field for a summer. And so that was kind of our view. And so we spent the summer learning about the product, learning about how it was used. We took a lot of measurements. One of the things we learned was that it wasn't really that it poured beer faster that made it successful. It was that they were wasting a lot less beer. And so it certainly poured faster. That was not hard to quantify. It was hard to quantify if they actually sold more as a result of that. What was easy to quantify is that they wasted a lot less beer, over millions of beers poured throughout a season. And so with that, they placed an order, and that was, and this was kind of now winding down the season in 2005. So going into actually 2004, going into 2005, then we went into production, and Wrigley Field was going to get it, and then I got a call like a few weeks before the start of the season from the White Sox organization, and they were here. They heard that Wrigley was getting these new tabs, and could we get them too? So that was kind of a fun thing that happened. Ultimately, again, it kind of went viral a second time. It was on the cover of the Wall Street Journal, which opened up all sorts of other opportunities. The day that this hit, I got a call from the owner of the Washington Redskins that same day, kind of saying, how quickly can you be here? We need this. So it's like the best publicity kind of possible that you could ever get. There's a whole story. There's a whole like 2-hour presentation about how this came to be, but we'll table for another time. But by the end of that summer, we were in a bunch of different sports stadiums and arenas around the country. It was named the top invention of the year by Time Magazine, by Popular Science. I was on virtually every kind of news program possible for some period of time. So this was live television on Fox News.
And the crazy thing, we just position the glass at the bottom of the tap, pop it open, it's going to fill right to the top, and you're going to pour that perfect beer.
So pretty cool, right? Just to do that. I was super nervous because I had one shot at this on live television. I thought I messed it up. And somehow it was like getting that perfect roll, Tiger Woods, into the cup with a little bit of foam that spilled over the side. Yeah. So let's see, what else do we have? I got some other video. This next one, I think might be so you might have seen it on the fall. You might have seen it on Farm. Perfectly every time from the back. Most of the purity about 70%. Aesthetically, for that percent. Yeah. I always like want to have that same hand gesture to that guy that does it's like the 98. He just kind of has that as he wrote it every time. So that's kind of the story of how we got to now. It was a collaborative effort. There were really 4 of us. I had a co-inventor, Rob Myers. Also had a co-inventor, Chris Dressler, and then Todd Keeling. And so this is kind of where I tear up because we both passed away way too early. And so this is kind of a tribute to them here tonight, as well as close to the work that I did. So here's to Todd for the work that they've done. Also, big thanks to my family who was followed along with. My kids were not around during the TurboTax days. They're just kind of hearing about it. I think maybe a lot of it for the first time tonight. But they've been involved with other entrepreneurial things that they did. Hey, you got an entrepreneur for dad, so love it or hate it, that's who you got. And that's the TurboTax story.
Maybe we can celebrate this. This is there. Good luck following that. Yeah, go follow that, bro.
Yes. Great. And now we have a partner to follow that. Which,
Thanks, man.
go ahead and good luck.
Well, that is a topic. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the 2 beers that we made for the collaboration. Craig's Global came to me and wanted to do something for the 6th anniversary. So we originally started talking about all Wisconsin Pilsner. We were particularly interested in highlighting how cool it is to have inventors in a more modern era as part of our it's all our stuff is all this that's whatnot. So here with that. We developed an all Wisconsin Pilsner that yeast bag. Was able to provide the yeast. We don't have a yeast company in Wisconsin, so it's there. Yeast property in Wisconsin. All hops, water, all. And then we also talked about celebrating William Orlick, inventor of malt powder, multiple malts that so we made pastries out at 11.3% that tastes fairly similar to. Had a lot of fun with it. These guys for a couple of years. And appreciate everything that we hold Wisconsin craft beer. Finally coming to these inventors. I really appreciate Matt that we made. So, what? Yeah. Very much. So, thank you very much. Appreciate it. There.
It's feeding up. Here, yeah. Yeah, it's like separating from the cup.
All right, y'all. So at this point, we're going to conclude. I couldn't give enough gratitude to for this conversation. Obviously, Matt, for not only your invention, but you coming here and celebrating what you brought to the industry. Full thanks, and